Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in on another episode of Unfiltered Sports. Today, we're not going to talk about the hype. We're not going to talk about the trends. We're going to talk about the truth and the truth of the fact of who's really him. See, that question, it just let that resonate, right? Who's really him? In football, who's really him? Basketball, who's really him? Baseball, who's really him? Hockey, who's really him? See, cut through the social media hype, cut through the biased opinions, and get straight to the hot takes to debate who's the actual top dog in its given sport, the position that they play, the matchups that they face off in, or just a simple moment. Who's really him? It's opinionated, it's loud, it's funny, and it's rooted in real performance. So again, I'm gonna ask that question. Who's really him? See, everybody on this timeline says a player can be a coach as well. Is really him. You guys hype up LeBron James and say LeBron James is really him. LeBron is really the greatest of all time. But is he really him? Doubt it. But we can debate that. Tonight, we're going to settle this topic of who's really him. See, we're going to start with an underdog here. I'm going to eat a little bit of popcorn when I talk about this player right here. Let me just get my popcorn ready, guys. Is Jalen Brunson really him? Is Jalen Brunson really that guy? In my opinion, I think he is. He not on no hot streak or nothing like that. I think he's really him. And I only say this because, not because I'm a fan of Jalen Brunson, not because I watched him through his entire college career at Villanova, but because when he was playing for Dallas, he was doing pretty decent. He came to New York. He now leads New York and Madison Square Garden with the most 40-plus point games scored over Carmelo Anthony. So is Jalen Brunson really him? I think he is. Jalen Brunson, as an underdog, is one of my top players in the NBA today. What's going on, Bradley? How's it going? I hope all is well today. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to Dogs Basketball. We got some more content coming in from Dogs Basketball this weekend as we prepare to start facing off in the playoffs of the American Basketball Association. All right, so back to basketball, right? So is LeBron really him? Jalen Brunson has 11 40-point games at Madison Square Garden. Carmelo Anthony has 10. But is LeBron really him? I don't think so. In the chat, let's hear your take on this one. This is the hot take of the day. In any particular order, Michael Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. You got to start one, you got to bench one, and you got to cut one. Let's hear it. Start one, bench one, cut one. Who would you start? Who would you bench? And who would you cut? In my opinion, this is just my hot take on this. I would start Jordan, I would bench Kobe, and I would cut LeBron. And the reason that I say this, and you guys keep putting your answers in the chat here, The reason I say this is because when I read an article recently, and I saw this very recent, and it said that in the Jordan era, Jordan was him. Everybody wanted to be just like Jordan. In the Kobe era, Kobe was him. Everybody wanted to be just like Kobe. In the LeBron era, who does everybody want to be like? Everybody wants to be like Steph Curry. Nobody wants to be like LeBron. So again, it just let's leave that question out there. Is LeBron really him? No. And I'm going to keep laughing at this. Everybody wants to be like Steph Curry in the LeBron era. Why? Because Curry has changed the game for good. When you see Chef Curry shooting that 3-point shot and he turns around and it goes in, who do you see copying him? Other NBA players are copying him. Other players outside of the NBA, street ball players, rec league players are copying Steph Curry. The only time people copy LeBron James is when they try to get a foul. They flop. They call him the flop master. That's what he is. He just cries about every little thing that doesn't go his way. This is why I believe LeBron is not him. Go ahead, Bradley. Let's hear your question in the chat here. I'm all for the questions. I am all for the questions. But yes, LeBron James just needs to hang it up. His son should have never been in the NBA. Do I think Dennis Rodman is better than Derrick Rose? That is a great question. And it's really hard to compare because they played different positions, really. But I think Derrick Rose is better than Dennis Rodman all around. The amount of love and respect that Chicago showed Derrick Rose, one, when he got hurt, two, when he retired, he got his jersey sent to the rafters. Derrick Rose all around is better than Dennis Rodman. So that's why I believe that right there. That is a great question, Bradley. Let's shift things a little bit, right? Let's look at in the NFL. Who's really him in the NFL? Let's look at the AFC. Is it Tom Brady? Is it Drake May? Who's really him? Like, let's hear AFC, and then we're gonna jump over to the NFC. Overall, this is overall. It's just not modern era. This is overall. Who is that quarterback in the NFC and the AFC? We could do all time. That's a good point. We could do all time. Let's do all time. Let's do the greatest of all time. I like that. Let's keep it interesting. See, Bo Jax, that's a great take right there. And as much as I hate to say this, I think that Tom Brady has proved himself to be a really good quarterback. And the reason I say this is not because he cheated, but for the fact that not only did he win a Super Bowl, more than one in New England, but what did he do when he left New England? He went down to Tampa Bay and he won the Super Bowl. It proves that he can go wherever he wants and still win the Super Bowl. That is a great take. Peyton Manning is a top quarterback. That is a good take right there. I like that one. No, some people forgot about that. What about Philip Rivers? What is your take on Philip Rivers? I think he's smart, very smart. Because what most people don't realize is that 5 years after you get out of the NFL, for 5 years you can keep your NFL benefits or your health insurance and all of that. Once the Colts picked him back up because he was at the end of his 5 years, he renewed all his benefits and he gets an additional 5 years. Phillip Rivers, top 7? Yeah, for sure. No doubt about that. Now let's look at the NFC side of things. Who is a top quarterback for the NFC? And Bradley, yes, I do watch baseball. I'm a Philadelphia Phillies fan. When we look at the NFC, I like Jalen Hurts. I'm a Jalen Hurts fan. We looking at all time. I like Mike Vick as well. Donovan McNabb. You know what? Eli Manning. I'll throw Eli Manning in there as well. I think he's a top 10 in the NFC. Who else though? Let's hear your take on the NFC quarterbacks. I am big on sports overall. As you can see, I do own the Dogs basketball. That is my pro basketball team. I am actually in the process right now of bringing in a women's pro team as well as a travel youth team, and so I am really big on sports as well. And then on top of that, I really am about to start a pro football team. So I'm big overall on sports, and so as far as talking sports, I'm always open and willing to bring people here on Unfiltered Sports. We're trying to test this out to see how it goes every single day, see who we can bring in to just talk on the take on the on set with me about sports. We can, it's just this right here is unfiltered, so no biased opinions, no hate, none of that stuff. Like, yeah, we throw LeBron hate, yeah, we throw Dallas Cowboys hate out there or whatnot, but is it bias or is it unfiltered? Like, you have to be able to tell the difference and separate the two. So I'll put the links to all Dogs basketball social media here. That way you guys can give us a follow, like, and subscribe here on YouTube for us. That way you guys get the notifications about Dogs basketball and Unfiltered Sports. So Instagram, again, that's going to be Dogs _ basketball and _ boom. All right, so I put that out there in the chat, right? So we're going to open this up to the chat here really fast as well, right? So we're going to let the chat get one take. And so someone threw Peyton Manning out there. I threw Tom Brady out there. We threw Jalen Hurts out there, Phillip Rivers out there, right? But can each and every one of these quarterbacks take over a playoff game when needed? We look at basketball. We threw Jordan out there. We threw LeBron out there. We threw Kobe out there. We talked about Jalen Brunson as well, right? But can each and every one of those players take over a playoff game and carry their team? So you're 5'8" and a half, and you average 15 points a game, and you're only in the 7th grade. I would say don't rush basketball. Take the time, enjoy the process. When you talk about basketball overall, you got to be able to know the fundamentals and not just say, hey, I understand the fundamentals, but no, like you get into the game, you know your position, you know your role, you know where you're supposed to be at, you know how to move without the basketball, you know how to make a layup with both hands, you know how to make a mid-range jump shot, you know you know how to post up, you know how to play your role. And that's what I mean by just taking your time and actually knowing the fundamentals of basketball before you actually try to rush it. I wholeheartedly believe that NIL deals and AAU is taking over and transforming the games of basketball, football, whatever sport you play is transforming that sport, which is making it a lot harder for college coaches to actually go to a high school basketball game and watch, even a middle school basketball game and watch some talented players. And a lot of people will get looked over if they're not playing AAU basketball, guarantee you, hands down. So actually take your time, listen to what your coaches are telling you to do, understand where they're coming from, and then watch film. If you haven't, start watching film. Get get into the habit of picking up the film, watching where you know that game, rewatch it, see what you did right, what you did wrong, and then sit with your coach and talk to him and say, "Hey, listen, I watched game film, and this is what I see that I did right, and this is what I seen that I did wrong. What should I be working on?" And then really just take that opportunity to go to the next level from there. Um, do some researches now, see what school you want to go to for high school and where you want to be at when it comes to high school, right? Because you have the opportunity to pick and choose who you want to play for, and so that's going to help dictate you know how much playing time you possibly could get as well. Because I can tell you now, as a 5'8" seventh grader, if you don't grow any taller than that, you're probably going to be playing like a guard. And so you got to learn how to play that role, and it's going to be shifting a lot. So just be used to knowing multiple roles and doing a lot of things, because it's going to shift. Now, if you hit a growth spurt and you hit over 6'3", 6'4", by the time you hit ninth grade, yeah, then expect to keep playing like a small forward, power forward, in the center kind of atmosphere. So keep that in mind. In the summers, anytime you get that opportunity to do so, play summer basketball. Don't stop. Just keep going. Go to the rec leagues. Go to those gyms. Work out. Do those things, and I guarantee you're going to be successful. Just don't let someone dictate your success. You dictate the success that you want to have. So, um, let's look at the hem meter for this past Super Bowl. Now, obviously, Sam Darnold won, but overall, who do you think should have won the Super Bowl based off their performance? Do you think that Drake May and the Patriots have an opportunity to go back to the Super Bowl? Because there's a stat that's out there, is that if you're a quarterback, second year quarterback, it's your first time in the Super Bowl and you lose, that you're not going back to the Super Bowl. Now, there was only 4 quarterbacks to ever go back, and one of them still plays to this day. And he was the Super Bowl MVP, and his name is no other than Jalen Alexander Hurts. So, uh, when it comes to Drake May, do you think he's overrated? Do you think he actually deserved to be in the Super Bowl? Do you think because he had an easy road to the Super Bowl that he wasn't really exposed to any real challenges? Is Drake May and the Patriots feared by other teams, by other players? If you had one draft pick, would you pick him to be your franchise player? And if so, if you feel like he is your franchise player and you're drafting him with your only draft pick that you got, what would you rate his clutch factor? And this is going to be all based out of a 1 to 10 scale factor. What would you rate him being a clutch, consistent, dominance, and his impact on wins? I do have a Snap, but I don't use it. I just stick to the YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, dogs basketball all around. That is my go-to. Um, is Drake May feared? Is he just trending because he was in the Super Bowl and had an easy route to the Super Bowl? Is Sam Darnold really him because he won the Super Bowl? Should he have had Super Bowl MVP? See, it's interesting, because there's a lot that you have to really take into consideration when it comes to these players who are stepping in to fill some really big shoes here. And so, just in case you guys missed it, I'm gonna put this back in the chat here. Instagram, dogs underscore basketball underscore, comma space, Facebook, dogs basketball. And then obviously here on YouTube, you can find me at the dogs underscore basketball. I am from Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. So that is currently where I am in Pennsylvania. So if you guys find me, that'll be cool. If not, you guys might see me around sometime because, being a great entrepreneur, I like to network. I like to go around and travel. And so you never know. Might be able to take my teams and travel to a state near you, and we might just be playing, and you guys can catch a great basketball game. Very electrifying, by the way. So, as we continue with Unfiltered Sports, though, who's your favorite teams for basketball, football, baseball, and hockey? That's what I want to know. Your favorite teams. See, it's funny that you say that I should go to Indiana because um, I used to live in Northwest Ohio, and so I was always in Indiana. And now there's about 3 or 4 teams that play in my basketball league that are in Indiana, and so you never know. We might be making a trip out there, playing a game against one of the Indiana teams, and just checking them out and seeing how they can play. Um, Not that long ago, honestly, they had the championship games in Indiana for the American Basketball Association. So um, it's interesting though because we get to see the improvement of a second year team. My Delaware Dogs didn't do very well last year. This year we are sitting at number 2 in our division, and we are pretty much about a game to a game and a half behind that number one spot in our division. And if we keep pushing the way we're pushing, we will make a heavy run in the playoffs and possibly will see us in Atlanta for the championship game of the American Basketball Association. So, huge turnaround, huge turnaround, huge turnaround. We got opportunities to play international. We got opportunities to um, go around and play in summer leagues and different things like that. A lot of people are reaching out to us for our team to play them in an exhibition game, and we just got to figure out what our schedule looks like, if it's possible that we play them or not. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, Dogs basketball is the name around town right about now. Um, Cincinnati Reds for baseball. Okay, I like that. The 95-96 Bulls for basketball. Miami Dolphins for football, and hockey you don't watch. Interesting, interesting. I like the Cincinnati Reds when Ken Griffey Jr. played for them and Ken Griffey Sr. Um, when it comes to baseball, though, I'm a Philadelphia Phillies fan. When it comes to football, I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. When it comes to basketball, I'm a 76ers fan. And when it comes to hockey, I'm a Philadelphia Flyers fan. So if you haven't caught on by now, I'm all around Philly. And that's how I go. And so um, it's really easy to kind of just dictate and kind of go from there. But I root for my teams through the ups, the downs, and the in betweens. You never know what's going to happen. I just hope one day the Flyers can win the Stanley Cup and we can celebrate that. And then we have all of our teams within a 10, not a 10, but 20-year radius of winning. Except for the Sixers. The Sixers need to win a NBA Finals as well, but they're getting there. I think with VJ Edgecombe and healthy Joel Embiid, healthy Tyrese Maxey, prime everything, they're going to be good. We just got to get Paul George back on track and stop taking illegal substances and going from there. Speaking of Sixers basketball, though, who do you think the Sixers should be building their franchise around at this point in time? In my honest opinion, I think the Sixers need to be building their franchise no longer around Joel Embiid, but around Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. That backcourt duo right there is just phenomenal. Tyrese and VJ Edgecombe together in the backcourt is a dynamic duo. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see both of them in the All-Star game together one day. I'm just saying. So, social media says LeBron is him. Here on Unfiltered Sports, we say Michael Jordan is really him. Kobe Bryant is really him. And if you disagree, argue with the group chats, not us. If you disagree and you feel like you deserve a spot side by side with me on Unfiltered Sports, reach out directly to us and we'll get you here on Unfiltered Sports. There's no hate. It's none of that. Straight talk. We prove facts. We go based off of stats. We go based off of the word on the block. We go based off of the truth, not based off the propaganda and the biasness of media and all of that fun stuff. We go based off of the truth and the stats and everything that's presented to us, in front of us, for us. So, again, If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Instagram. And that is a great point as well. MJ has won 6 out of 6 NBA finals. LeBron has won how many? Out of how many? Exactly. It's not a perfect score. I can tell you that much. Kobe has won how many? Out of how many? It's a better record than LeBron. That's for sure. So, here we go. Again, so we are here on Unfiltered Sports Monday through Friday, and we're always looking to bring on an extra host to talk sports, talk trash, however you feel fit. Please reach out to us on social media. We would love to have you here hosted on Unfiltered Sports. Here's the debate of the night, though. Who's better out of these 4 players? Luka, and this is all going to be it's a 1v1v1v1. But you got Luka versus Jokic. You got SGA and Anthony Edwards. Who's winning? Who is winning that? 1v1v1v1. Luka, Jokic, SGA, or Ant-Man? In my opinion, it's going to be between Anthony Edwards and SGA. Hands down. That is my opinion that I think is going to happen. That either SGA or Ant-Man will win that 1v1v1. So it's pretty much a free for all. But we never know. We could be surprised. Luka might come out and win. But again, the height of Jokic, never know. Anything is possible these days. So, being him ain't about one viral. It's not about one viral game. It's about walking into the arena and everybody knows you're the problem. Right now, when LeBron walks into the arena, all people want to do is just really get a picture or even an autograph because they know his time's coming to an end. He's really not a threat anymore. Like, at all. So when we look at who's really him, let that resonate in your mind that when you walk into an arena, and you look at a specific person on that field, on that court, do you think that person causes a problem? I'm not saying that LeBron was trash his entire career. Yes, he is getting older, but I just never never liked his playing style, his game at all. I was always a Lou Williams fan growing up. I was always an Iverson fan. For some reason, I liked Dwight Howard as well. But that's just me. I like the underdogs. And I always like a good story to tell as well. So, with that being said, though, everybody, one last time, I'll say it here. Please go like and subscribe to our social media channel, Dogs Basketball. Our logo, if you look in the top corner here, is that dog with the basketball in his hand. If you see it, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook page, even Twitch and TikTok, you'll see that logo. That's us. Give us a like, a subscribe, a follow. Show some support to Dogs Basketball because pretty soon we're going to be the champions of the American Basketball Association. So, with that being said, until next time, tomorrow is Thursday, and we will be going live here on Unfiltered Sports at 7 p.m. And we look forward to seeing you there. What no bias opinion, all heat, no smoke, unfiltered opinions here on Unfiltered Sports. Until next time, everybody, you all have a great night.